Hi, welcome to this live broadcast of my Fired Up Speakers course. And I thank you for enrolling in this free webinar. This is my first free webinar, and I'm glad that you're here. There are about 60 who enrolled in this, and I'm so happy because there are a lot of people who are interested in really improving their public speaking skills. I'm so excited because this topic is very important to public speakers, especially if you want to really move your audience into action. So the title of this webinar is 5 Sure Ways to Inspire Your Audience. But I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Kirby Liaban, and I'm an author, and I'm also a motivational speaker. My work is really to train people and to inspire people, especially in the workplaces, to be able to meet their goals. So I really do this for a living. But my background is also I'm a missionary, so I've been giving talks in different countries and with different cultures as well. So I can't wait to impart to you what I've learned in the 22 years that I've been giving talks, and also in the different countries that I've been to. And if there's one thing that I really want to hear from speakers is that when speakers inspire. So I'm also a recipient of many wonderful speakers who give talks and move me into action. In fact, I'm motivated to give this webinar because I was also inspired by a speaker who encouraged people to do webinars and to reach more people, especially in this time of the internet era. So that's my background, and I also am a course creator. My first course is the Fired Up Speaker course, which I'll be talking more about later, the end of this webinar. So I hope you're settled and ready, and you can get a pen and a paper and take some notes as well. So because this is gonna be a really exciting webinar. So here we go. So the first question that we have in our minds is, how can we inspire people? And maybe we've heard other speakers inspire us, and we come to ask ourselves, how do they inspire big crowds? Aren't they nervous? How were they able to construct the stories that they have in their experiences and in their head, and be able to really translate it to inspiration? And maybe we can also ask ourselves, how can I inspire my audience? How can I inspire my audience? So you've seen speakers, big speakers inspire you. Then maybe you ask yourself, how can now I inspire my audience? So your audience doesn't have to be big audiences. It doesn't have to be thousands of audiences. Your own family is your audience. How can you inspire your family? If you lead a group or a certain unit of people in your workplace, how can you inspire your people so that they'll have the passion to work, they'll have the passion to meet your goals? So the ability to inspire is very important, and we will learn here uh, some tips on how to be able to inspire the people we talk to. So it doesn't even have to be up on stage that you inspire people. Even in casual conversations, how do you lead them into action by inspiring them? But first, let's understand the word inspire. What does it mean to inspire? So to inspire is to move someone to act, create, or feel emotions. So this is from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. So I like the words amongst the all the definitions that I've researched. I like this the best because to inspire is to help people move. Usually people procrastinate or are lazy to be able to meet their goals, but if you're able to inspire them, they are able to move from their current state to a certain desired state. Another is when you inspire people, of course, to move and you to act and to be able to create something wonderful and beautiful with their lives, and to be able to also have that certain emotion that is drawn out from them by hearing your words, that they remember something and they're inspired to do something. So in my own experience, I was inspired to be a speaker by way of being a missionary because countless of stories that I've heard has inspired me to move and to act and to change my life also because of the stories that I've heard. So, which now we transition into the different way. So, if you look at the word inspire also, it's like a short for being in spirit. So when you talk, when you are able to inspire, people feel something. They feel the spirit and they tell you, wow, you're so inspired. And that's because you are very into the spirit. You are very enthusiastic. We can say that you are in God. You are inspired. So remember these things. To inspire is to help people move, act, and feel a certain emotion so that they can move forward with their lives. And of course, you're also in spirit. So that's what inspire means. No? So, but what's important before we proceed to the 5 ways to inspire, you have to first believe that you can inspire. Okay? So maybe you can tell yourself, I believe that I can inspire others. Go ahead. So believe that you can inspire, because if you believe more than you doubt and fear and you're more than you are nervous, if you believe more the capacity that you have in you to inspire, that's very important, because no one else can better convince that you can inspire people than yourself. So believe that you can inspire people. So let's proceed to the 5 sure ways to inspire your audience. I hope you're ready. Okay, the first way is it starts with letter S. In fact, all of the tips in this webinar starts with letter S. Okay, so the first S to be able to inspire people is through a story. Okay, so by creating a story or recalling a story, it is one of the best ways to be able to inspire your audience. Maybe you remember when you were still young, when your parents would tell a story, how your eyes would widen, right? Even my own kids, I have 4 kids, and when I tell them a story, instead of lecturing them about life, when it comes to stories, the environment changes, the air changes. So stories really inspire. But some people, yeah, I hear them tell a story while giving a talk, but how come sometimes the stories are dragging, and the stories are long, and sometimes um, the stories are boring sometimes. By the way, before I proceed, I'd like to greet those who just came in. And hi to all of you who are there. We are now in our first tip to be able to inspire your audience. So don't worry, you haven't missed much yet. So I go back to the point. You have to inculcate stories within your talk. If you just give a lecture just straight without an example of a story, it will not inspire people. They will not even remember your talk, but they will remember your story. But how do we exactly tell a story? How do you exactly tell a story? So this word will help us by telling a story of transformation. So when you think of a story, make sure it's something about transforming people or transforming yourself, your experience of transformation. Whether you're giving a religious talk or even a talk on philosophy or a scientific talk, any field of thought or practice, there's always an element of transformation. So you have to arrange your story in a way that can inspire people. So how do you arrange your story so that it will inspire people? So you start first with the before transformation. So what was your life before, or what did you believe before you realized this key learning, or what was your life? What bad experience or worse experience did you have before? Or if you're talking about people or popular people or heroes, what was their before transformation story? How bad were they before they were transformed or changed? So in that segment, you can become animated, you can expound, you can really tell them, describe to them how bad the situation is and was. So that's how you start first with the story from worse or bad. Then you transition into the during transformation. You tell your story of how you got transformed. What did you hear from somebody that transformed you? What inspired you? Or who inspired you? If you're giving a religious talk, if you're giving a talk about God, what did God tell you in your prayers that transformed you? Or if you are in the business field, if you tell your transformation story, what gave you the success? What was the turning point in your life that transformed you from having no money to having success in your life? The transformation, the during transformation phase. So you've now learned two elements: the before transformation and the during transformation. But you shouldn't forget your current transformation. What is your current state right now? What are you doing right now with your life? How are you enjoying what transformation you have experienced during that second phase or the during transformation phase? So what is your current transformation? So again, I repeat it: the before transformation, the during transformation, and the current state or the current transformed state that you are in. So that's how you tell a story. It has to have a pattern, it has to have a structure so that people will not get confused. And if you are to tell a story to an audience, don't choose too many stories. Choose the story that most inspired you yourself. Because the tendency, because you want to keep your audience interested, you tell too many stories and they'll get lost in the examples. So choose one or two stories that are highly impactful or inspiring to you yourself. When you heard that story, you yourself were inspired and you just relate it to people. So that's the first S. Use a story. And stories, it scientifically, there is what some scientists call a brain coupling. When you tell a story, something in the brain connects each other. So use a story to inspire your audience. So that's the first S to one. The first sure way to inspire your audience is by telling a story, but tell it in a way that is really structured and organized so that you'll know how to inspire them. Okay, so the second S is sentiment. Wow, what what does sentiment mean? What does the topic mean to you? Like if you're talking about, uh, let's just say you're talking about a current study in your field, like for example, a financial, you're giving a financial lecture. So it's so easy to just say this is how you will save up, this is how you will earn money, and this is how your life becomes better. But if you don't put a certain sentiment there, or what the topic means to you, it won't make an impact. So you have to put your emotions into that topic. So another, sentiment brings out the emotion out of you to the audience. So one of the most effective ways to deliver a talk is that when you talk, is emotional. I'm not saying emotional in terms of you're gonna cry or you're gonna get so angry there, but the audience should feel that the talk comes from your heart. So it has to have an emotional impact because the audience they can be informed with intellect when you're intellectually talking to them, but when you are sharing your sentiment with them or the sentimental value of that topic to you, then you're able to really connect with them and they'll inspire because you also the chances are what is important to you or what is sentimental to you may also have that kind of experience in their life. Let's just say you're talking about marriage, then you as you're talking about the topic of marriage, you tell them why this topic is important to you. Why it's because in your own marriage, this topic was able to help you in so many ways. If you're talking about, let's say, communication as a topic in marriage, then this topic is so important to me because when I learned about this information, my own marriage changed. So that will inspire people and they will see, wow, that speaker is really speaking from the heart. There is a sentimental value in that talk. Okay, so sentiment. What is the emotional impact of your talk to your life? And of course, you bridge it to the audience. So that's the first, that's the second S, sentiment. Okay, so we've so far gone through two tips already. The first tip is, I hope you can write it down, to tell a story and be able to tell it in a way that it's through transformation before, during, and current. And the second S is, of course, being sent to have sentiment or your emotional connection with your topic. So I'd like to say hello again to those who just came in. So welcome to this free webinar. And by the way, before we proceed, don't worry if you missed some points because I will send you a replay of this webinar in your own emails. So don't worry if you missed some points. So far we've gone through the two S's of inspiring your audience. Okay, so now we go to the third S to inspire your audience. And that third S is significant. Okay, so the problem with many of the speakers when they give a talk, although their talks are very important or very informational, but is it significant in the lives of those who are listening? Why does your talk matter to them? Why is your talk, letter S, significant to them? So we try to think about making your talk relevant to your audience. So how do you make your talk relevant to your audience? By asking yourself this question: how will this talk change their lives? What is the benefit of this talk? So let's just say you're giving a topic on health. You're giving a topic on health. So you're giving several ways how to lose weight, for example. So you don't only talk about the method of losing weight, you also talk about how it will change their lives. How will it transform them? And if you're talking about financial wellness, how is it going to be relevant to their lives? If you're talking about spirituality, let's just say you're talking about high levels of doctrines. So they would listen and they would, wow, these are the doctrines, but how will that doctrine change my life? Now you've got to give examples of why the topic matters to you. So it should be significant to their lives. So that's the third S. Make your topic significant. In other words, how will the topic be able to help your audience. How will it help them? How will it change their lives? How will it improve their lives? Okay, so make it significant. So if you want to inspire your audience, you will have to now research a bit who you're talking to. You have to research a bit who you're talking to. So one time I was invited to give a talk in the prison. So when I was invited to give a talk to prisoners, of course it was a different. It was not the usual audience that I had, and I have to now think how a person who was convicted, how would he approach a certain situation. So as I said, I was a missionary, so I was talking to them about Jesus, and how will my introduction to Jesus make a difference in their lives? Because if I just talk about the facts about Jesus and how who he is, then but if I don't make it applicable to their lives, then it won't matter. So it will not be significant for them. Okay, so what I did was that I introduced the concept of being free. So being free, Jesus will free you from your sins, and they could very well relate with that because they were behind bars. So of course, different audiences would have to be applied differently. So make your talk significant. Okay, so again, tell a story, then what is your sentiment or what is your feelings about the topic, and third, make your topic of benefit or of significance to those who are listening. So that's the third point, or of making sure that you are able to inspire your audience. So those are the three sure ways to inspire your audience. So we have two more ways that will inspire your audience. Okay, next, the first three ways we talked about more of the content of your talk, how it will inspire, what content will you put in your talk that will inspire your audience. Now, the last two tips will talk about the manner of delivering your talk. So, which brings us to the fourth S, which is to be spirited. Okay, what does it mean? What does it mean to be spirited? It means that you're able to really speak with passion. You have to speak with passion from that you're able to speak from the heart. You're able to let them feel your spirit. So when we're afraid of giving talks, when we are intimidated by the audience, so we are overwhelmed by their presence, and fear overcomes us. So we become nervous and we become shy in giving our talk. But when you are spirited, you're able to actually overwhelm your audience with your presence. And when you do that, you're able to inspire them, and you're able to take control. You're able to really see how they are going to be to respond to you when you say certain things. So what does spirited mean? When you speak with passion, that means you are full. Your topic, you're full. That means you believe in it so much, and you just have to tell it to people. So your spirit now is emanating from you. You're able to infect them with the way you speak, with the way you deliver your talk. I remember this movie about, I keep on telling my wife about this movie. Actually, both of us watched it. The movie is La La Land, and there was a scene there where the guy was explaining jazz to the girl, and the girl didn't like jazz at all because for the girl it's like, who likes jazz? Only very few people like jazz according to that movie. Then when the guy started to talk about jazz in a way that was so passionate, the girl couldn't help but be inspired. And later, towards the end of the movie, the girl loved jazz as well because the guy was very spirited in talking about jazz. So he spoke with so much passion, he spoke with so much spirit. So maybe you can recall the times in the past when you gave a talk. Maybe there was a certain topic that when you talk, you were really talking with conviction, you were talking passionately, your spirit was all over the place. Try to recall that time. Perhaps because because that topic is something you really believed in. So be spirited, be passionate about your topic. Okay, so the last tip to inspire your audience is to shine. What does it mean to shine? So the way you deliver, because sometimes we're too conscious about what we're gonna talk about, we're too conscious about what we're gonna say, or maybe we're gonna forget something, a certain detail in our talk. We tend to not enjoy our talk. We tend to not laugh or not smile at all. So when people see you shining on stage, when they see you laughing and smiling and enjoying, they also will feel that way. They will also laugh with you. They'll also enjoy with you. So the last S is to shine. And how do you shine? Of course, you smile and you enjoy. You smile and you enjoy. How do you smile and how do you enjoy? Just be conscious that you're smiling, because we tend to forget that. So remind yourself to smile. So maybe you can have someone in the audience who can signal to you, smile, smile, smile. Okay, smile. So when someone does that, then you're reminded to smile, right? So that's how you inspire them, by shining, by delivering in a way that people can enjoy listening to you. So next is, because when you shine, people respond to energy. So if you're an energetic speaker, if you're a speaker that really challenges them, and you are able to speak with gusto, people respond to that energy. They are able to appreciate that energy, and even if you don't ask them to clap or let's clap our hands for that point, they just respond to that. They just clap. They just applaud to it. Of course, you're not seeking for applause, but what I mean is, when you are energetic, they will also reciprocate with a very good response. So shine on stage. All right. So far we have covered the 5 surefire ways to inspire your audience. I hope you can remember those 5 S's. So the first S is story. Very good. The second S is sentiment. The third one is what? Can you still recall it? Okay. So let's review. The third one is to be significant. All right. Then the fourth one is to be spirited, and of course the last S is to shine. Okay, so those are the 5 sure ways to inspire your audience. Now, moving forward, we can have 2 options. The first option is to learn public speaking on your own. So maybe you've experienced already perhaps about 4 free videos that I've given. The first free video was about how to overcome your nervousness. The second was about how to build up your credibility, and the third one was about content, how to give high value content. And I gave a free video in the middle of those 3 free videos, is how to keep your audience from getting bored. So I've given you so far 4 videos, and I hope if you were able to benefit from those videos. But if you haven't gone through those videos, don't worry, I'll provide you the links of those videos if you just log on to this free webinar for the first time. Okay, so but the second option is no. The first option is you just learn public speaking on your own. The second option is you can also learn through my experience. So I've been giving talks since I was 17 years old, and I'd like to impart to you my own experience in giving talks. And it's so difficult when you're just gonna give free webinars every time. So I compiled my learnings into different videos. So in fact, I have prepared what I call like a fired up speakers course, and my first course is the what we call the confidence builder course. So if you're listening right now, if you're attending this webinar and your number one problem is nervousness, anxiety, or maybe you keep forgetting what to say, I believe that this course is for you. 15 videos that will really help build your confidence. So I'm so excited to impart this with you. And this is actually my next level fired up speakers course. So I've given 4 free videos, and this is the 5th free video, the webinar, and this one is the next level course, which is the confidence builder course. Now, these are the 15 videos will help you to become a confident speaker who inspires audiences into action. So what is your confidence for? So that you'll be able to inspire your audience. And what is the inspiration for? So that it can be translated into action. So this is the transformation that the course is offering to help you inspire audiences into action. All right. So I have an offer, and the offer is just up to Tuesday on September 26th. Up to September 26th, I'll be offering a 50% off on the course. So the course is valued at $150, but up to Tuesday, 12 midnight, I'm giving 50% off. So it's just gonna be $75 US. I'm happy that some already have responded before even this webinar was organized, and I see that they're enjoying the free course. So avail of this course, because after September 26th, I'm gonna promote this more publicly, and it's gonna be priced at $150. So this is just for you and for those who subscribed in my emails and in my free courses. So I hope you make the most out of this offer. All right, so that's it. This is a very short video. It's 30 to 35-minute video on inspiring your audience. Here's the link, but I'll be emailing you the link. So just in case you just came on of the 5th S or the 5th tip that I gave you, just in case you came in late, don't worry. I'll be sending you a replay of this webinar. So thank you for attending my first ever webinar, and I hope to see you at the next level fired up courses. God bless you.